Yo, what is up, my dudes? My name is Storm Rose, and on this channel we put what's in here out there. And today I'm giving you my TBR for July for the Book Junkie trials.
Good evening, Mr.
Just put everything in the oven, Carl, on low.
Yes, madam.
If you haven't heard of the Book Junkie trials, I don't know where you've been on BookTube, because it's everywhere. I think she said the Rachel Marie, I believe, is the creator of this readathon. I'll link her in the description. I think she said there's like 4,000 people participating now. Isn't that insane? So for the Book Junkie trials, there are 4 different teams. One of them is Scribe. That's the team that I'm on. There was a quiz to take to see which team you should go on to. So there's Scribe, Mage, Outlaw, and Bard, which was my second option. I can't believe I forgot. Sorry. So there's Scribe, Mage, Bard, and Outlaw. I think right now Mage has the most, and then Scribe, and then Outlaw, and then Bard. So each team had 4 of their own challenges, and then the 5th one was for the Bookie Grail, which is the group book, basically, which we'll get to in a minute. But if you wanted to be insane, I don't know, like me, you could decide to do all 17 different challenges this month. That means 17 different books in 31 days, which is about a book every 2 days. And I didn't pick small books because I'm stupid. So let's go ahead and jump right into all of the challenges because I decided to do all of them. Here's my spread. And we're gonna die, basically. So I have the Scribe challenges first because those are like the ones that you have to make sure you get done. And the first of those is Dwarf Mount, which I'm not gonna say the little like storyline things she came up for with each prompt, but we don't want to make this video too long. So Dwarf Mount was for a hint of romance, and for that I actually picked Pride and Prejudice. Hold on, I have the books, most of them, I'll show you. So for Dwarf Mount, I picked Pride and Prejudice. This is actually a large print edition, which I'm assuming is for like when you get older and you still want to read your favorites. Cause this print is literally humongous. Are you seeing this? It's giant. But maybe it'll help me get through it faster because I'm not straining my eyes like at all. Who knows? But I'm actually really excited to get into this because I've been meaning to read this for a very long time. So this is my romance. And then Apothecary Towers is something about wizards have like taken you and you have to randomly pick a book from your shelves. And for that we have Define Normal, which is a book that I got from my library that my school library was getting rid of. And actually, this is like one of my smallest books, and I really think that this one's going to be good for me, a quick read. It's also got pretty big font, and it's about a girl that decides to go to therapy, like student therapy, and the student who is giving her therapy is like the punk rock kid, and she's like, what the heck are you gonna do? You don't look like someone who's gonna be able to like soothe me, you know what I mean? And it turns out that she's actually really good at it, and they actually have like a lot in common, you know, friendship stories. I think that's gonna be pretty good, so I'm excited for that. And then the Great Library is the challenge where you have to pick a book that's been on your TBR for a really long time. And for that, we have Twilight. So, Twilight has not been high on my TBR for a very long time, but it has been on my TBR since like almost always, because I feel like everyone else has read Twilight. Like literally everyone. And there are booktubers that like this is their favorite series. Like Leo reads his Harry Potter, and then like 5 of like the big time been here since always booktubers favorite series is this. Like, I can't not read it. It's a classic, basically. It's a modern classic. I hate to say it, but it is. And while I don't dislike the storyline, there's just a couple things that make me a little, you know, but I'm hoping that the book is better than the movie, because this book can't have those weird, awkward stares the whole time, unless they do. And if so, I'll be very impressed that you managed to get that kind of secondhand embarrassment to me through a book, too. So, we'll see about that. I also have the second one, and we own the third one of that series, so if it goes well, I guess I'll be finishing that in August, as well as the Vampire Academy series, which I started before this month, and because I was an idiot. So stupid. I can't believe I got the second one, too. I'm halfway through the second one right now, and I have to start on my July TBR. So, I might try and squeeze that one in this month, too, if I'm crazy or stupid. Also, I got like halfway through the reader because I got the audiobook, so I was listening to it on the way to and from my mother's house. So I might try and finish that this month too. I know, I'm insane. I'm insane. Anyways, the next book challenge is the Drowning Deep, which is like a whirlpool, and you have to get a book that has world building to draw you away from the whirlpool, like draw your attention, because you need all the attention on the world building, not on the whirlpool. So for that book, we have Artemis by Andy Weir, and to be honest, I really don't know what it's about. I know there's a moon colony. That's about it. That's really all I know. I got it because, like, I remember seeing this a lot a while back. Like, it was big-ish, but I don't have any, like, lasting memories of anybody being like, oh, I love this book, it was really good, or anything. Or I don't have any lasting memories of people being like, oh, I hate this book either. So, but I've been meaning to read it because I love the cover, and also, hello, we know who this is. We love her. So, yeah. And then we have The Bookie Grill, which is Stardust, and I have that rented out on Libby. So we're good to go with that for an ebook. And then that's all of the technical challenges that I'm like required to do as a scribe. But then we have these other challenges. So for the Crimson Peaks, which is like volcanoes, so they're trying to erupt, you need to reread a favorite to like calm them down, to like soothe them. For that, I have Green Heart by Alice Hoffman. And if you've seen me on Twitter, you know that anytime anyone asks for any book recommendations, I say this book. And it's because it's a really, really short read. And I love the writing of it. It's so poetic. And it's got just the right amount of witchiness in there, like just a sprinkle. oh, it's so good. And it's very, for people who are very like connected to writing and reading, I feel like this is a very good book, because as the main character goes through the story, she's collecting everyone else's stories and writing them down. And like she also makes her own paper, and each paper is like significant to the person's story that she's making it for, and she's like making her own collection of books, because like books have like basically burnt up in something that happens in this book that I should not spoil. Sorry, I have notifications coming up on my phone, it's bothering me. And I love this story so much. Also, something you probably won't be able to tell through the camera, the ink for the words is not actually black. It's very dark green, and you find out in the end why that's significant. It's just such a good book. And Alice Hoffman is also the one who wrote Practical Magic, which is like witchy classics. So everyone's seen Practical Magic, and if you haven't, you really need to see Practical Magic, because that's such a good movie. And I'm assuming it's a good book too, because, you know, Alice Hoffman, but I haven't got my hands on that yet, so it wasn't at my library yet. Okay, next challenge is The Queendom Stone, which you're supposed to read another book that has royalty in it, so that you can study the politics of other queendoms. So for this one, I picked The Crowns Game, which is an ebook. I have an ebook of it. I'll pop up. But it's supposed to be like Russian based. And if you watch my last vlog, which might not be up yet, don't know. But if you watch my last vlog, you would see that I'm a little bit obsessed with Russian. So, about it. That's really all I know about that, though. Then Forgotten Forests is the trees are speaking to you. They can hear you. They know what book in the next book in a series you've been neglecting. And for that, we have Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I read Red Rising back in junior year, and they never had the next book in at my school library, and I've never been able to find it at my town library. So like I didn't know where to find it. I wanted to read the next one very bad because I literally loved Red Rising like so much. I recently recommended it to Michaela. Don't know if she'll pick that up or not. I feel like it's up her alley, but I might have scared her off. I don't know. But I'm so excited to read this. I just haven't found it. That's why I was putting it off. And then I found it, and I was like, oh, but you already have like 7 books picked out. And then I was like, you're grabbing this book. You found the book. It's talking to you. It said, hello, read me. And I was like, yeah, okay. So there's that. And then I ended up doing the Book Junkie trials. So it's not like 7 books really matters, because we got 17. And then the next challenge is The Weeping Falls, which I suppose you can probably guess is to pick a book that's going to make you cry. And for me, any book with death in the family, bawling, because I'm just so family oriented. But like I cried at The Good Dinosaur, or the green one with the like floppy legs, because his dad dies in the beginning. If you didn't know that and you call that spoilers, shame on you. Like you were gonna watch The Good Dinosaur anyways. But for The Weeping Falls, we have A Dog's Way Home. So my grandma actually, this is my grandma's copy, and she gave it to me a while back, and she was like, read this, I'm sure you'll love it. And I just never got around to it. Oh, also, it's like it's the soft marshmallowy covers. I don't know, what do we call these covers? They have a name. It's like suede. I don't know. And with my black books that are like this, I usually get upset because they get like fingerprints and stuff. And if you hold it in the light right, you can see the fingerprints. But because this cover is white, mostly, I don't have to worry about the fingerprints. So this is good reading because it's soft and not annoying my germy cleanliness stuff. Except for that, I don't know how that got there. There's like a stain on the pages, but it's fine. That's not a big deal. I still don't know how it got there. And I don't know if that was there before she gave it to me or if it somehow happened in my stacks. If it happened in my stacks, this is like rust from my bed. But I don't know. So I'm reading this. I'm sure I'll cry because, you know, the dog has to die to reincarnate or whatever. So, man, if you haven't lost a pet, losing a pet is so hard. And then the next challenge is Orc Grove, which is supposed to be something gruesome, gory, or gritty. And as someone who really doesn't read like a horror or anything like that, or they really have an opportunity to get super gory and gritty, I was like, And I already did have like 7, 8, maybe 9 library books that I'd rented. And so I squeezed them all into my challenges. And there's one that I had that I didn't know where to squeeze it yet. And that's The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Now, Leo Reads has been promoting this book since forever. And there's a movie, I'm pretty sure it's called Skulls, that's about like college kids getting into like the different like kind of like sororities and stuff, except they're like not. And then it ends up being like super like mystery, figure out who done it sort of thing, and that sounds like exactly what this is. So if this is that, I'm so in, because I literally loved Skulls so much. Like, I don't know why, but I loved that vibe. So I feel like this is about to be like a new favorite. And this is for you, Leo Reads. This is for you, Jamie. So I picked that because I tweeted it on Twitter, and I was like, hey, can this count as gruesome, gory, gritty? Because I don't really know. I heard there's a murder. Like, that sounds like maybe. And Jamie was like, well, it's not gruesome, and it's not gory, really, but maybe you could call it gritty. And I was like, using it, going with it. She said it could, so I am. So, yeah, that one might be a bit of a stretch for me, but and then the next challenge is Old Pirate Cove, which is a book that takes place partially on sea. I think you also were kidnapped for this too. I think you get kidnapped a lot in this quest, so. But a book that takes place partially on sea. Really, if I wanted to, I could use the reader, because the story that she's reading in the book, like the book, is about pirate captains, and they're like outlaws. Like, it kind of fits the vibe of the Book Junkie trials. But that's not, so I think the challenge of the Scribes is that you can change one book on your TBR, because it's supposed to be like set. And if I were to use this power, it would probably be to do the reader instead of Riptide by Douglas Preston. I don't know why I keep putting this book off. I actually own this book. I got it from, again, when my library was getting rid of books. And it's supposed to be like about pirates and stuff too. Like, I don't know like why I keep putting it off. I'm sure it'll be a good book. I don't know. Maybe it's the cover. I just don't love the cover. It's kind of boring. That's bad of me to say though. I don't know. I'll probably keep it and change my giant squid, because I really don't want to read the Scribe of Sienna, but that's basically what the squid challenge is supposed to be. So. Sorry, I'm rambling. Okay, so Old Pirate Cove is Riptide. The next challenge is Glimmer, which you're supposed to be in like the prettiest spot in the land, so you need to read the prettiest cover book thing. And for that, I picked The Rules of Magic. I don't know if you can see, but it's got like glitter, like gold glitter. I never even realized the face at first because it's just so glittery. It doesn't pick up as much on camera, but it's so freaking pretty. And again, this is by Alice Hoffman, who wrote Practical Magic. This is supposed to be like the prequel to Practical Magic, I think. So, super down. excited to read this. It's gonna be great. It's got deckled edges, so we're down. And I'm so excited to read. It's just so pretty. It's so pretty. Like, I didn't even see the face. Like, if you just like see it as like splotches of coat, I don't know. The face kind of throws it off a little bit for me, but it's still so pretty. Like the sparkles. Sorry, I love sparkles. Okay. So then the next challenge is Draconic Isle, and for that, I was stupid, and I picked up Priory of the Orange Tree. Yeah. The 848 page long book. But I did read the first half of it already at some point, so I feel like I can get through that part really fast and then, you know, continue on that part, so it makes it almost like normal book size, you know what I mean? But I did pick that, so. And I'm gonna grab that at my library once I return these ones. That way I have the full, because it's still on the, like, the new book thing, so it's like 2 weeks, whatever, blah blah. And I have enough to try and get through before they're due, because they're all due on the 16th. So. And then the next challenge is the Elven Guard, which you're supposed to do a book that has some kind of military something rather in it, because you're trying to understand the elf military, something like that. I really wish I had these like prompt little story things to give you. Oh, my stack fell over. Anyways, for that I picked Outlander, and while Outlander is actually like a romance, the main character originally starts off as like a World War II nurse or something like that. So it's got war, and then when she goes back in time. There's something else about military stuff going on too, I think. Yes. I don't know for sure, but it's not really military like focused, but it does have military in it, so. Counting it, it was one of my library books that I grabbed, so I had to squeeze it in somewhere, and also I've been meaning to read this for a really long time too. So, if you'll notice that most of the books that I picked up are books I've really been meaning to read and I just never got around to. Okay. The next challenge is for On the Hollow Isle, which is supposed to be an atmospheric or like horror read. Like I said earlier, I don't read horror, so I really didn't know what to do with that. I'm in a group chat on Twitter though. And I went in there and I said, anybody have recommendations for something I should read for On the Hollow Isle? And I didn't really understand what atmospheric meant. Like, I assumed it's like, you know, it's like they've got really good, like, descriptors that makes you feel like you're in there. But I didn't really see how atmospheric fit in with horror, so I figured maybe it's, like, supposed to be more, like, scary kind of stuff still. I don't know. But, someone said that Uprooted is on that, the list of atmospheric books or something, so like that should count. And I was like, isn't that supposed to be like a fairy tale or something rather? Like, I'm so down. And a lot of people I've seen a couple people, not a lot of people I suppose, reading that. So I have the ebook of that on my Libby too. And then the next challenge is the Empty Barrel Inn. And for that, you're supposed to read an indulgent read. Well, my read is indulgent in the fact that it's something I really need to finish, although I'm not particularly in the mood to finish. It's been sitting in my stack. I read like the first chapter, and then I stopped, and then this is the last book in a series. This is the way to finally close out the series. It was only a trilogy. I don't know why I'm acting like it was a huge big thing, but I owned this one. I only read the other ones because I owned this one, so I could read this one, and I still haven't read it. So it's indulgent in the fact that I'm indulging my mind and putting it to peace because I haven't read the last book in the series that I own. So I suppose I'm counting that as indulgent because, like, once I finish it, I'll be so happy. That counts, right? And the dust jacket is really pretty, but I don't have... See that? That's so pretty. The other jackets are really, or other covers are really pretty too. Like the first one's like all red, and like broken glass, and then the second one's like an orange feather. They're really, and it's a pretty good series. Like, I really did enjoy it when I read it. I don't know, I haven't felt like it. So now I'm gonna have to. I made myself. And then for the very last challenge, the giant squid is supposed to be a book that you find intimidating. Usually I'm not intimidated by books. Like, I've got priority on this. Like, I'm not worried about it. I'm partially worried, but only because it's so many pages to do in a short amount of time, not because like I don't think I can push through that many pages, you feel? However, I have owned this book for a decent amount of time. The Scribe of Siena. I kind of like the cover, actually. It's pretty cool. It's somewhat thick, deckled edges. Let me see. Let's see what the page count is. 464. So it's not huge, but it's not. I mean, it's a bigger book. So the issue is, it's a romance historical mystery, which is basically everything I don't read. I don't read romance. I don't read a lot of historical fiction. And I don't read mysteries. So, however, it is compared to Outlander. So, but that's probably because of the time travel thing, so I'm assuming there's time travel in this too. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. You can see now that I'm intimidated by this book. It's everything that I usually don't like. We'll see. Anyways, that is my whole TBR for the Book Junkie Trials. And after I watched the Queen's TBR, she actually counted up all of the pages and then divided them by 31 days to see like how many pages she needs to read a day. So I did that too because I thought that was a good idea. And the grand total of pages that I am meant to read in the month of July is 7,461 pages. When we divide that by 31, we get approximately 240 pages a day. So, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you wish me luck on my journey. And I'm gonna start reading the Pride and Prejudice. With that, I bid you adieu till the next Howdy Do. Peace. See ya.
Intelligence. Nothing has caused the human race so much trouble as intelligence.